Hello.
Hello.
I'm Bo.
Brandon.
And we're doing an experiment.
Yes.
We have different mics.
Mm-hmm.
Which, in your opinion, would you say that they are cheaper mics or better mics?
Cheaper,
well, they're definitely cheaper as far
money-wise.
well, maybe. They might be the same price.
This is the standard microphone. This is the normal,
So
you go see a band and they're probably singing into these.
Yeah. So we've been recording on condenser microphones, and now we're on dynamic microphones. And these dynamic microphones are very cheap. I really want to get the SM7Bs, but I don't know.
This is my preferred microphone, when I'm doing a gig or something.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense
the standard,
for live.
but I've been using it so long, I like the weight in my hand, and I know exactly kind of how to hold it, and where to put it in regards to my face.
Yeah.
So
this is going to be just an interesting episode in general because I'm going to have to do a lot of work in the after, because I can already see that it's real quiet, which is fine.
Okay.
We'll do stuff later to fix it.
So
Maybe I'll do it
pick
right
up
now.
a lot of extra things. I'll try not to put stuff on the table near here.
No, it's the other. I'm turning up the gain.
Okay.
The other microphones were more sensitive than these are.
Oh, really?
Yes, because they're condenser microphones.
Oh, sure.
Condenser microphones are more sensitive than dynamic microphones,
Right.
and dynamic microphones are more sensitive than ribbon microphones.
Mm-hmm.
So, we're going to experiment with this today.
Yeah.
Just because I saw a podcast and I'm like, this sounds like a podcast, and then they were using just handheld mics.
Mm-hmm.
They were getting tattooed as well.
Gotcha.
And also, when I compress us, I can hear more of you in my microphone when I have been compressing it lately.
That's what the people want, Bo.
There's more of you in my.
me.
Yeah. So we're here to talk about two tunes.
Mm-hmm. And other things.
Ooh, that.
That's going to be real annoying. I just finished a book.
Yeah.
That I started this week, which it's been a while since I've just read through a book that quickly. But it was just really good, and I couldn't put it down. It's a book called Heartsick by Jessie Stevens.
Mm-hmm.
She's Australian, and I heard a podcast interview with her in 2021, and was really interested in this book. I can't remember if the book had just come out at that point or if it was coming out. But either way, I couldn't buy it for a while because it was only available in Australia.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so I think it's been available, that I could get it in the States more recently. I just haven't. I just didn't get it for whatever reason, and then in January or end of December or whatever, when they have their big sales, people have big sales, I bought it through bookshop.org, which is where people should buy books instead of Amazon, and I'm finally glad I got it because it's really good. So the book is Heartsick, and then it has a subtitle, and it's 3 stories about love, pain, and what happens in between. And it's told from 3 different stories within the story kind of thing. So there's 3 characters, Claire, Anna, and Patrick. It's not an interconnected thing at all. They're totally separate stories, but basically each chapter is one of those people's things. And then throughout the book, you kind of rotate through those 3 characters and what they're going through. And so Patrick is, at the beginning of it, he's a college kid. So kind of nerdy and awkward and never had a date before. And then he kind of falls in love with this girl that's in his study group in a class they're in and whatever. And then you see kind of what happens from there. Claire is, she's from Australia. She's now living in London after she graduated college. And she is she hangs out with a friend of hers there, and then the friend introduces, she meets these other people through her friend, and one of them is this girl Maggie, and you see kind of what happens there. And then another one is this woman Anna, who she's been married for a while, has 3 kids, and is maybe thinking she's not really in love with her life and her husband, and this old friend of theirs from their teenage years kind of comes back in the picture, and then you see what happens with all that. But it's really interesting. It's really, really well done. She actually interviewed these people. Those are not their real names or whatever, but she interviewed these people and got their story, and then she turned it into a story, if that kind of makes sense.
Okay.
So it's based on a true story, if you will. You know what I mean? Like she basically got their stories of these things, and then she, fictionalized where she had to, or like editorialized or whatever. But it's really, really interesting. And then each chapter is pretty short. Mm-hmm. Sometimes just like 3 pages or like 6 or 7 pages. But then again, you don't get that person's perspective again for like another 2 or 3 chapters.
Yeah, I'm looking at the chapters right now, and it's like Claire, Anna, Patrick, Claire, Anna, Patrick, Anna, Claire, Patrick.
Yeah, sometimes
Anna,
it'll
Claire,
skip
Patrick,
one. Like
Anna,
it
Claire,
doesn't
Patrick.
just go in the order. Sometimes it skips
Anna,
one.
Claire,
or whatever.
Anna, Patrick.
Yeah.
Claire, Patrick.
But
yeah.
it's really good. She's a good writer, and the stories were interesting and compelling. And like I said, I just like blew through it. So I really, really liked it. So I'm glad I got it. Yeah. I also got a couple other books that maybe I'll dig into. The only thing I can really like read quickly anymore is like comics, and like graphic novels and stuff.
15 minutes, less than.
I don't remember if I recommended this one before because I did read it like a month ago. But The Nice House on the Lake.
Okay.
It's really, really good. It's in 2 parts. It seems like there's gonna be more, or there could be more, but it's really, really well done. It's a good one. It's through DC actually, but it's not like Superman's not in, and Batman, and any of those things. Like they kind of there's like at one point you see like somebody's got like a poster of some of those characters, so it's more like it's the real world, but they, it's like those things exist, but that's just the publisher that it's through. I think it's James Tinian IV who's the author. I should look it up. Nice House on the Lake. Alvaro Martinez and James Tinian IV. Those are the folks that put it together. Yeah. So that's a good one I recommend. But yeah, Heartsick, really, really good book. What have you been doing, Bosif?
Mixing, reading. Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's going to pick it up, but it's not going to be as much. It's not as sensitive. Yeah. Listening to the thing in Dolby a lot, looking up information about cars, because that's where so Dolby Atmos it's not going away, right? And I'm like into it right now as far as music goes. And the reason it's not going away is because like it's been in use for like 10 years. You just haven't noticed it because it's like, well, it's the movie theaters. That's what it's supposed to sound like. And video games. But they're able now to like stream it, which means that you can and you can experience it in other forms of media. So like I was listening to a podcast and they were talking about how like, oh, we're gonna, like what's really gonna sell it for music is when it gets into cars. And you could do that. It requires no extra equipment because it like your car already has this equipment in it. But when is the car people going to do that? And like right now, obviously, it's just like luxury cars have it.
Right.
So I'm like looking and it's like, what? Okay, I can't afford that, obviously. But like, okay, well, maybe like or can I get a sound system put into a car?
Probably
to have that. But then how much does that cost? And then, so yeah, a bunch of things.
You can get it in your Cybertruck when you get one of those.
Yeah, I'm not getting a Cybertruck. Those things are ugly.
Yeah, and terrible. I saw a video of a guy on what's the new Apple goggle thing?
Oh my God, the Vision.
The Vision. I saw a guy on
Who's
a
the
video
guy?
of a guy, just some rando driving a Cybertruck while having the Vision on. So he's like kind of steering and then doing whatever he's doing. It looks scary. Like he's just going to cause a wreck.
Maybe. I mean, he's distracted.
Yeah.
But not because of the goggles. It's because of what the other things that he's doing.
Sure. But but it is the goggles. Why else would you have them on if it wasn't for
maps
doing the thing? I guess. That also seems distracting though. If you're like,
well, then it's like a line.
If you have the overlay, I don't know.
Then it's a line on the road and be like, you're going to turn. It's like, oh, I can see where the turn is.
Yeah.
Instead of being like looking away from. I
also saw a funny joke on Twitter about a guy that was using it on the subway, but I'll tell you off mic.
I saw a Casey Neistat video.
Okay.
And he was like, okay, I'm just going to put them on. And the first thing that he did is like once you take them off and then you put them down, like they go to sleep, and then if you put them on, and he wanted to like screen record because you can record what you see.
Yeah.
It's a whole thing. So he's just like, all right, well, I'll just put them on and go around New York City for X amount of hours. And like he had somebody else, so he's like going around and he's like watching like Mr. Beast video. Like that was, and then he's like, okay, I got like over here, I got my Mr. Beast video. I got a virtual keyboard over here. And then I got like iTunes up over here, and I got Apple TV over here. And there's things that I'm like, that's kind of cool. And he's like, also don't get these because this is going to be the worst Apple Vision that Apple ever makes. Because the next one is going to be so much better, and then the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Like, don't go out and get this because it's $4,000. It's like it's way too expensive it's going to suck in a year. It's going to be like, oh my god, they're going to exponentially do this. So one of the things that he experienced is like he would be watching something and he went on the subway.
Sorry.
So he went on the subway. He's watching the video, and then the subway moves, and then that screen moves away because it's like supposed to be in like a TV in a room,
right?
And then you can walk away from the TV, so then like the TV will stay in the same place. So if like it's there, and then the subway car goes one way, the screen goes the other way, and then it disappears.
Okay,
and it's just gone,
and you couldn't get it back.
Well, you have to stop and then like re-upload it.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, well, this is bad on trips. You have to be like in a stable position. It's like, yes, you're not driving. Cool.
Yeah.
And then also,
if he was facing, like so on the subway, most of the seats kind of face
in.
Yep. But the video I saw was a guy where he's facing
the front
because they occasionally have those seats on like certain cars or whatever.
Okay.
So like maybe the guy I saw in the video on Twitter, like he was fine because maybe he's facing the same way. But if Casey Neistat was facing the other way, it makes sense why it would go away then.
But he had these things, and he got up and then he walked through the screen, and then the screen was like behind him and off. So like, I don't know. He's like it depends, and also like he's like they need to make them smaller because they're like ski goggle size.
Yeah, they're huge. Yeah,
they're huge, and people would like keep looking at him.
Yeah.
But like it's like I can see you. Like there's nothing, and he's like watching like experienced dinosaurs. So there's like a screen, and then the dinosaurs coming out of the screen into like in front of him, and he's just like he's at Krispy Kreme, and he's like doing this, and obviously he looks crazy. And apparently you can also FaceTime.
Okay. Oh, they have like the virtual FaceTime, like where it turns you into like an avatar, basically. Yeah.
And he's like, and they show the other side of it, and it's like your eyes are just like big, and also it scans your eyes to know who you are.
Oh,
which at some point it's going to be like, this is too much. And then I'm watching The Rookie with Nathan Fillion.
Oh, the TV show.
He's like a 40-year-old rookie cop in LAPD.
Yeah, I've seen it. A couple episodes.
There's a couple things. The first is like, and I kind of dig this thing, is like, all the cops have...
They have the body cams.
And then they use that footage.
Yeah.
Which is like, that's a really interesting way of showing a cop show because like police officers do have body cams. So why wouldn't you use that footage in a cop show?
Right.
So I thought that's really interesting. And then they also have them like dash cams. So like they're sifting through like, yes, we have this cinematic camera to get like, your standard ABC drama or NBC, whatever it is. And then you have these really cheap cameras, but will give you like, oh, they're running after somebody. And like, this is what body cam footage would be. And also in the car, looking at them and then looking out as well.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this today, and I don't know if this is factual because like, obviously it's a TV show, but like they draw their guns a lot.
I think that's more for TV.
Yeah, I do too, but it just seems like...
Because you'll hear those stories of like, this cop retired after 30 years on the force and he never drew his gun.
Yeah.
Like you'll hear stuff like that, you know what I mean? Like now maybe that's from like small town Minnesota or whatever. But I feel like...
Have you seen Fargo?
Yeah. But I feel like too they draw their guns a lot more on TV than they ever would
Definitely
in real life. Because I feel like when obviously like, or at least obviously on TV shows when they like shoot their gun, then don't they have to like do a whole report on that and like whether they shoot somebody or whatever, like they have to like document all that stuff. I feel like maybe there's something like that with even like drawing your weapon. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
I don't know.
I feel like they'd have to do like a lot of paperwork.
Yes.
Based on that. Speaking of ABC,
yeah,
I don't know when this episode's coming out. It'll come out after February 2nd, obviously, because that already happened.
Yes.
Like even in real time as we're recording. Did you see about the Lay's commercial on Friday on ABC?
No.
Oh my gosh.
You watch a lot more television. I mean, I watch TV, but I don't watch
I found out about it
commercials.
from my mom because she was like, I think I saw one of the new Super Bowl commercials today. And I was like, oh, cool. I said, yeah, there's a couple of those out already. And she's like, yeah, it's this Lay's commercial. But she's like, it keeps happening like a lot of different times, like throughout the day or whatever. And she's like, it's this guy and he comes up and he's like got a bag of Lay's, and then the lady at the grocery store, he's like going to check out, and she like makes a comment or whatever, and she's like, it's always like kind of the same thing or whatever, but every time he's there, he has like a new bag. And then at one point he's like kind of imitating her and whatever, and my brain went to, she's like, it's funny, she's like, it's whatever, and my brain went to, I was like, oh, if it's like a Super Bowl commercial, it's got to be like famous actors, usually do like stunt casting for things like that. And I was like, maybe they're doing like the Target lady, like from SNL, like when Kristen Wiig was on, she had that commercial. Did you ever see commercial?
No.
That skit? You never saw the Target lady? She'd be like,
No.
where she would just like comment on like what the people bought at Target, and it was like people just want to like check out and go. And she's like, oh, I love this thing, blah blah blah. And she had like kind of like a funny accent. So I asked my mom about it. I was like, does she have like an accent? Or she's like, no, whatever. So I Googled it then. It was just for Groundhog Day, and it was Stephen Tobolowsky, like the actor, the guy who plays Ned or whatever in Groundhog Day, and it's him coming to the register, and he's got a bag of Lay's, and she's like, oh, I love those Lay's, I can just eat them up, blah blah blah, and he's like, oh, you can say that again. She's like, and I will, or whatever, like, and that's the bit. It's like a 15-20 second commercial, and it's like, okay, Lay's, whatever. But then like within the same commercial break, like that'll be like the first commercial, and then it goes to like Pampers and Tide and whatever, and then it comes back, and it's him at the register again. Same outfit, same whatever. He's got a different bag of Lay's this time. Now he's got like the cheddar sour cream, whatever. And she's like, oh, those, whatever. And then like he starts to catch on. It's like a series of them. I don't know how many, but he starts to catch on. And then at one point he just like says what she's saying at the same time because he knows. And then she's like looking at him weird or whatever. And then there's one which I think might be the last in the series, because I did eventually like see them like kind of in order. I didn't see them necessarily in order, but there's one where he's like, I'm never getting out of here, am I? I'm in hell, or whatever. She's like, no, you're never leaving. And it gets all weird and whatever. She's like, because you haven't even tried the vegetable poppables yet. And he's like, there's vegetable poppables? Like, it's very funny, but it's not a Super Bowl thing. It was just for Groundhog Day, and it was just on ABC. And I did like a little bit of reading about it, and I guess like they came up with this idea just like a few weeks ago. Whatever. It's Ryan Reynolds, like Maximum Effort agency that produced it. Like he didn't have anything to do with it, but his company produced it. But one of the people like came up with this idea, and they like quick filmed it and like got it done, and then like got this deal with ABC, and ABC had to like shift around a bunch of their regularly scheduled ads that they would have on a Friday, but it was all day on Friday. It was very funny.
All right, so I Groundhog Day, the movie is on. You can only stream it right now, or at least where I could find it is on AMC Plus. Oh, okay. So I'm like, God, this is crap. Yeah. But like the day before, I'm like, guess what tomorrow is? It's Groundhog Day. And I was this to Caprica, my 9-year-old.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm like, we could watch the movie. And then I paused, and then something happened. I was like, hey, Caprica, guess what tomorrow is? Tomorrow, it's Groundhog Day, and we can watch the movie. And then like 2 seconds later, I'm like, Caprica, guess what day it is tomorrow? It's Groundhog Day, and we can watch the movie. And she didn't get it, obviously. Yeah. But my wife was like, he's doing a thing because the movie's about like the same thing happening over and over. And I'm laughing because like I get it, and it's funny to me. Because
you're a dad.
Because I'm a dad, yeah.
As a father, Bo, you think that's hilarious.
It really is. Bugging your kids.
Have you seen Palm Springs?
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
That was a good take on the.
I because there's a lot of TV shows that do that as well, especially in sci-fi. Like Stargate SG-1 did an episode that I can remember, and it was a really good one. Where like the main actor, the guy who played MacGyver,
Richard Dean Anderson.
yes, Richard Dean Anderson, he's the guy that like knows about it, and then like another character gets into it, and then they're just like doing all this stuff to like, they have to like do all this sciencey stuff to figure out how to get out of it.
Yeah.
So every day they're like, all right, this is what's happened. This is what we have already. Let's go.
Yeah.
And like then at some point they're just like, oh, let's just take this break. Let's take this loop off. And so then like there's a whole bunch of loops that are just like doing dumb stuff.
Sure.
Like there was all this like romantic tension between him and another person, but because they were in the army, they could never date. And then he resigns and then kisses her, and then the loop starts over again, and then other things like that. And then he's like, so the Stargate it's like a wormhole between worlds. If you don't know what Stargate is.
I saw the movie when I was a kid, but I've not watched the TV show.
The TV show's it's not as serious.
Yeah, sure.
But he's like doing golf, like
through the
wormhole, and then he's like he's going back, and then his boss is like, "What are you doing?" It's like in the middle of my backswing. So it's just like it has a bunch of like lines that I remember from watching it, and it's a good episode, and I love episodes like that.
Yeah,
because I know where like it stems from. It's like, oh, they're doing a Groundhog Day episode.
Well, Loki kind of played with that.
Yes,
only it was time.
Yeah,
but yeah, like he was manipulating the time. Like,
yeah.
But,
well, I mean, any time thing is really good.
I guess
but like,
technically, Doctor Strange did it with Dormammu.
Yes. Did they mention that though? It's like, are you Groundhog Daying me?
No, because he's not. No, just come to bargain.
Yes, come to bargain.
That is one of my favorite memes on Black Friday.
Yeah,
where it's Doctor Strange. He's got a big TV. He's like, Dormammu, I've come for bargains.
That's cool. All right, so we're here to. Oh my God, it's been 22 minutes.
Good.
So we're here to talk about two tunes. I chose this song first.
Yeah. So okay. So I think people know, but in case somebody's new here, we gave ourselves this sort of thing that I don't think either of us really adhere to. But basically, the idea is that we would send the songs to each other, and we can do no more than 3 listens and blah blah blah. I usually do like 1 or 2.
I know. I don't do as many anymore.
I don't always have time. Sometimes it's on the way here that I listen to both songs. But at least you get a listen, you get a sense for it, whatever.
Yeah.
The point is that you are presenting a song to me. I'm presenting a song to you. Like so, it doesn't matter necessarily that I've heard it once or 10 times or whatever. But anyway, Bo is usually better about getting his songs to me first.
Yeah.
At least recently.
My thought is that you have songs in the back burner, and then I'm like, I got to find something.
Well, that's the thing. I've actually, like, more recently been not struggling, but I'll use that word, like struggling to find songs. And it's not because I don't have things. It's just because I'm like, I maybe haven't given a song, like I haven't listened to it enough to like, it's a song I'm like, this could be a group or this song or whatever that I could bring or whatever, but I haven't, I've got a bunch of those that I'm like, these are potentials, but I need to listen more myself to like decide and whatever. So that's been where I've been at. But anyway, so you texted me yesterday with your songs. We were hosting the County Band Festival, so I was kind of like busy all day. Yeah. Wasn't really like looking at stuff. And so I also don't usually look at what you send me first. I'll just like respond with my songs. And then at some point I will listen to yours. So anyway, I went through my Spotify liked songs, which that list is 4,395 songs. And I just like kind of went to the top of like, what have I more recently added to that list? And what have I listened to? Because that like songs list is also a lot of things that I add because somebody says it's good, or hey, check this out, or I see somebody post on Instagram or whatever, and it's like I'll go back to it at some point. Does that make sense? So then I'm like looking at what I have on there. The very first thing I have on there, which is the most recent thing I added, is the song Reviver by the band Shoreline.
Yeah, and we're doing Shoreline.
And I listened to it again just to make sure. I was like, wait, this is a song I did listen to and I like. I just want to confirm that. And I did. And so then I added it to my Two Tunes playlist of songs to potentially play. And then I also like just scrolled down a few more and added a couple more. But then there's also like there's a Mac Miller song on here that I just found. But again, we already talked about Mac Miller, so I'm gonna like not bring that or save it for another time. There's a couple other things on here, like whatever. So I added 3 songs to my Two Tunes playlist, like potential songs to bring to the podcast. One was Reviver by Shoreline, and then the other song we're going to talk about today, and the song we're going to talk about next week.
Yep.
And then for whatever reason, I just didn't send you the Shoreline one, even though I was going to. I was like, yeah, this one for sure. And then I just didn't. I sent you the other song. And then when I went to look at what you sent me, I was like, no freaking way.
Yeah.
Bo sent me a song by Shoreline, and I would have sent him also a song by Shoreline to do for this episode.
Yeah, I think that would have been great.
That would have been pretty funny. Would you have wanted to just go through with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess we've talked about that before, is that we'll just go with it if that ever happens. But so where did you find them?
Just, Apple Music random playing.
So I saw a clip, I guess on Instagram, because I'm not on TikTok anymore, so like I don't see clips of bands and things. So it must have been on Instagram somehow. I don't know if it was somebody else posted it or it came up as a suggested thing or whatever. I don't know, but I heard the song and I was like, oh, this is cool. I like this. And it was that song that I saw the clip of, and so then that's when I went to it and whatever. I also saved the album that the song you sent, which also I think this song is on.
Yeah, it's coming out. It's not out yet.
Is that what it is? Okay.
February 23rd, I believe.
So maybe I saved like a single that has several tracks or something. But I really liked the song that I found, and then you sent this other one, which is also good. So you may continue.
So here's Needles. Shoreline. They're German.
They have an EP from this year.
Yeah.
That has Reviver, Needles, Soul, and Workaround. So maybe that says February 1st. So maybe, I don't know.
Well, they're putting out a record that is entitled To Figure Out.
Does it have these songs on it?
That's what Needles. What's your other ones?
Workaround, Soul. Oh yeah, so these are
Soul.
It's the Waterfall release thing.
Yeah, what's the other one? Darius?
Reviver.
Reviver, yeah, it's on there.
Yeah.
It's within the first 5 tracks of this. So I also looked at like the record label, because I always do that.
Which is?
Pure Noise.
Yeah.
And then I was like looking for second song for us recording, and then like I'm like, oh, this will be good, and then I looked down, I'm like, oh, this is on Pure Noise, maybe I shouldn't do that, and then I looked at another one, I'm like, okay, oh, this is on Pure Noise as well. So like the last like 4 in my list are all like Pure Noise bands. So I'm like, oh, okay, we should be sponsored. Hey, Pure Noise, listen,
We'll tag you in the Instagram post.
Give us early access to stuff, and we'll promote you guys, because you guys have good taste in music.
Yeah. So what do we know about Shoreline?
They're a German band. In my opinion, they don't vocally. I mean, I don't know what the German accent in
singing
is.
English. Yeah.
Yeah, but they do say pockets, which kind of gives me a British feel. But like, what do I know? So yeah, this is they're Needles. Or no, the song's called Needles. They're Shoreline. It's off of the soon-to-be record release. Actually, it'll probably be out, actually.
I don't think we're there yet, but it'll be close.
It'll be really close. The 23rd of February. Needles. I like that panning of the guitar on the one side, and then the drums but as it moves to the right.
Yeah. Conversation, you can hear a little bit. Conversace, the way they said like the sh sound, I could hear a little bit there.
They didn't say conversation.
You didn't?
No.
Oh, it sounded like it.
They said we're being blessed with a covered face
Oh, well,
and the rope around our neck.
fair enough.
I think it kind of sucks that we're going to be looking for the German accent in this.
Are you happy? Do you suffer enough? Are you working? Do you suffer enough? Are you dying? Do you suffer enough? Was it worth it? Cause it's gonna stay the same. Cause I got needles in my hands, needles in my pockets. Any drop of blood is a pain that's worth it. We are looking for any open door. Don't go through expecting there might be one more. The future's that you learn from the past, I guess.
Looking at their tour dates, and obviously it's a lot of Germany and UK, Switzerland. Yeah, I like their sound a lot though. Like again, it's got that there's familiarity because they're in a genre we like, but the mix of the different singing styles and stuff and screaming and like.
My only issue is that part that we just did. It was kind of like a breakdown. I don't think the distortion was enough. But everything, like the chorus part, this right now, I think it's awesome.
Yeah,
it's very sing-along-y.
Oh, totally. Yeah, the song I picked had a little more screamy stuff in it. I liked it.
That stuff, the backwards stuff, is interesting and weird. I dig it.
Can you play a little bit of Reviver? Can you pull that up?
Probably not. I'm sorry.
Can I play through my phone?
Yeah.
I just, like, while we're talking about it, I want to play another song.
I want to point out that the reason that I can't do that is because where we record does not allow me access to it.
Oh, right.
Through the internet that we are on.
Right.
If I was on a different internet, I could totally do it.
Enough. All right, I'll play. It's playing through my phone, so not the best quality, but.
Oh, this is a different feel.
Yeah. I like this guitar riff. That's cool. I'm going to fast forward a little bit just to chorus. So, again, poor quality because it's through my phone, so forgive that, but it's a cool song too, so I'm looking forward to this album.
As of the, I believe this episode is the 20th.
Okay, cool. So,
wait, no, actually it's the 13th.
13th.
So next, not
Happy
this Friday.
Galentine's Day, everybody.
Galentine. Okay.
Bo is a staunch anti-feminist. So
no, any I don't know. It's never mind. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Good.
So I have a.
We should actually celebrate women, Bo.
Oh my God. Just gonna remain quiet. Anyways. So. What else is there? You have a song?
I do have a song. This is a band I've been meaning to bring for a bit.
Yeah.
Because, speaking of kind of like record label connections, a while ago, Anchor 84 Records had a sale. And I was like looking for some stuff, which is I think where I found...
there was another band that you
There's another band I found that we played. I want to make sure I have their name because I feel bad that my brain is forgetting it.
Always.
But I'm an old man and I forget things, and that's my song about being an old man while I look up this thing that I cannot find on the thing. Also because they're not listed as like their current bands because they don't exist anymore.
What band?
The band that I'm going to talk about. The band that I did talk about.
So... The band that we're discussing today is called...
The Traditional was the band that I talked about before. Okay. But anyway, when I was like looking up things that were like for sale and whatever, and I'm like, oh, what do I maybe want to buy? Also, they're having a sale again, so I'm going to buy more things. I just was like pulling up the bands when I'd see a band name and pull it up, and that's how I listened to the traditional. I was like, ooh, I like this. This is cool. And then in this other band, Dear Youth, same idea. I pulled it up and I was like, ooh, I really like this.
Yep.
Now the song I'm playing is a more recent song. It's just a single from 2022. I think the last music that they've released is from 2022. They had a handful of singles. But this was the first song that I heard by them, and so I got a little bit of that like primacy bias of like, ooh, that was good. But then I listened to their album from, I want to say 2020.
Yeah, Heirloom.
Yeah, which is all great.
Yeah, I have the record on vinyl.
Oh, nice.
Because I got... We should the reason we know about this record label is because of Church Girls.
Yes, that's kind of where I was
when I
getting to
bought
next.
Church Girls on vinyl, I got Heirloom on vinyl.
Okay, had you listened to it, or you're just like, ooh?
Because it was like I should probably buy a couple more records from this record label.
Yeah.
Let me listen to this. So I listened to Dear Youth, and I'm like, I dig that. Let me buy the vinyl.
Yeah, I really, really like them. This song is obviously not from that. It's from 2022. It's called Juice. And it says it features the band Broadside and Oliver Baxxter.
Yes.
I think it's just Oliver Baxxter who's in Broadside.
Okay.
I think that's just how they, on Spotify or whatever, they kind of
Yeah, it says that on
tag
Apple
everybody.
too.
But I think it's just featuring him, like singing and stuff. I also like Broadside. I've listened to a bit of them. I should bring them on the podcast too. But yeah, this is their song Juice by Dear Youth featuring Oliver Baxxter of Broadside.
Which the artwork on the cover I like. It's a juice box cover or wrapped in barbed wire.
Yes. You turn it up at all?
That's just for us.
Oh.
It's as loud as it's going to get for everybody else at home. Oh my God, and it's so much quieter than...
Well, I mean, it just sounds really quiet.
It is. It is really quiet. It's like half as loud.
But you know you could never hold on forever before you get hurt. And you know you could never stay strong forever, but a forever. It's do or die, you're begging for the bright side. Realize your nightmares are warning signs. It's do or die, you're waiting for the right time to show.
I don't have a lot to say. I just like it.
Yeah.
I wish it was not so quiet, but people should. That's cool. A little back and forth
Yep.
painting stuff. Yeah, it's got a little more like production to it, like with that kind of stuff and whatever. Than like certainly the songs off of Heirloom and other stuff, but yeah, something like a little different. Really like this song. Is it Dandelion also off of Heirloom?
Yeah, that's a good song.
That's a really good one. Again, I was kind of struggling. Like that's why I haven't brought them for a while. Like I've been listening to for a while, but I'm like, I like a lot of these songs. Like it's hard. It's hard sometimes to like narrow it down. And so I just went back to this one because I was like, this is the first one I listened to. This is like what got me into it. I was like, no, yes, I like these guys. I want to dig in more. Listen to the album, that kind of stuff. So. Other singles they've had, again, from like 2022, 2022, they had a song called Graves and a song called So What. They also have a live EP album.
Oh, the snare
open
drum.
currently.
The snare drum. This.
Yeah.
Wait. It's got a long ring to it.
Yeah.
But like not in an annoying way.
Yeah, for sure.
But it definitely sticks out as like, that's unique.
Yeah, they have a live EP also. But
Yeah, I
they
saw
did
that.
3 songs twice, once acoustic and once non. I also listened to their 2016 album, Over the Bridge. Also like that. It's kind of cool to hear. They haven't been around like too long. Like 2016 looks like the first time they released stuff, and like just hearing them grow a little bit over that time is cool. Like as like young songwriters and then more advanced.
They're Canadian, by the way.
Yes. Montreal. I pulled up their bio. I didn't read a darn thing from it.
Good job.
Canadian pop punk alternative band from Montreal, Quebec. Formed in December 2015.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're real good. Listen to more.
Produced by Sam
Sam
Guyana,
or Guyana. Yeah.
who did Silverstein and Lake Pacific.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I bought the record.
Yeah, I need to buy the record. They're good.
I forget exactly what variant I have. Because also sometimes I buy records that look cool.
Yeah,
like the actual.
you do that more than I do.
Yeah.
I don't care as much. Dude, I am so mad.
Yeah, what didn't you buy?
I didn't even know. So I believe, because I forget I forget a lot of things, but I forget like who we've talked about, especially now because we've recorded for like a long time. We've been doing this for a little over 3 years.
163 records.
That's a lot. But we talked about the band The Hush Sound. I'm fairly positive.
Maybe.
I'm fairly positive we talked about The Hush Sound. And I have wanted to get their album on vinyl like forever. Mm-hmm. And Enjoy the Ride Records. Are you familiar with them?
The Hush Sound was the August 3rd, 2021 episode.
All right.
With Salika.
Okay.
Which was
yeah.
M. Night Shyamalan's kid.
Yes. So, but anyway, I've wanted to get that album on vinyl for a long time. When I like Googled it one time, like a few months ago, I saw that it was on Enjoy the Ride Records, which is, I'd never heard of them. And they kind of, at least to me, they kind of specialize in like specialized things. Mm-hmm. So they'll have like soundtracks and, things like that, like one, almost kind of like one-off things. So like, yeah, we'll do like a small pressing of something and like, then it's gone. And so I saw it and I saw that it was sold out. I was like, dang, like that sucks. Like that no one's going to make this again. Like Fueled by Ramen or Decadence or whatever that they were on, like they're not going to do it. And so I was like kind of annoyed by that. And then I got this email maybe like a month or so ago or like 2 months ago that was like, oh yeah, this is back in stock. And I was like, oh, okay. And then it was like, but then I couldn't, for whatever reason, I don't remember like what was going on, but like I couldn't do anything about it in the moment.
Yeah.
Whether I like saw it in between classes, like sometimes I'll like just like if my kid's like taking a while to get to class, like just check my email or whatever. And then I didn't think about it for like a couple days, and then until I went back, it was gone. And I was very sad again. And then there's somebody I follow on Instagram who like just posts records.
Yeah.
I think it's Spooky Record. Let me properly talk about her if it's the right person I'm thinking of. Spooky_record, which is Chelsea's record collection that she posts. She's one of those folks that I find things from sometimes because like she's got similar taste in music to me and us and whatever. But anyway, she posted a few weeks back that she got it and she was like so happy that she got like one of the ones, and I commented, I was like, I can't believe I missed this, like I'm so sad about it. And she's like, yeah, she's like, I almost forgot about it. And like she wanted to get the whatever color variation they had, but she got the black one. But she was, I was like, that's great. But anyway, I'm very sad about it. So if anybody can find me a copy of Like Vines by The Hush Sound on vinyl, let me know. I will buy it.
I will spend so much money for you.
Listen to it a lot.
So that's our episode. We talked about 2 tunes, maybe in a third one.
And some other things.
We got these new mics. They're not new, they're old.
Yeah.
But they're just different.
When you change the settings, it's better. It was not good before we started recording.
So what I did was in the audio interface, there's a button that like
that makes that sound.
That makes that sound.
That's cool. Can you hit that button again?
Yeah. No, it was a little bit different that time.
It sounded different that time. Did you put distortion on it?
I did. Nice. I did put some a little bit distortion. So tell your friends, tell your neighbors about this podcast if you enjoyed it. Join the Discord.
Like, subscribe. Yeah.
We would like to have more of these episodes.
Message us. You want to hear something? You want to talk about something? You got questions? Yeah. I like answering questions.
I do too. We don't have questions though.
No. I got some fun facts for you next episode. I'll save it. A little sizzle.
Okay, little sizzle. There's going to be something next episode. Yeah. All right, we'll see you next time on The Price is Wrong.